Welcome back to the Dummy Kruger channel, everyone. Today's video brings us back to the state of Kentucky, where I have some very unfortunate news to report. I, Dummy Kruger, have been debunked. As a matter of fact, I've been so thoroughly debunked by none other than one of the wisest walking among us for public safety that I felt obligated to make this video. If you haven't followed this story, I implore you to watch the two videos linked below that tell part of the saga. Currently it's just two videos, but there's been a lot of chatter recently about a third and final video. Rest assured, I speak on that towards the end of this one. In today's update, we'll watch as For Public Safety dismantles one of my arguments so efficiently that he's now claiming to have proven he was either framed by a mysterious imposter or that he was the target of a massive 25-year government conspiracy on par with Watergate, designed to land the YouTube content creator in jail for 30 days? Given the level of depravity and corruption he seems to have uncovered, I can only surmise that For Public Safety enlisted the services of the FBI, especially considering his role within the institution as an informant.
Absolutely.
Well, you know who's doing the investigation?
I have no idea. That's
I do.
Hard.
Do you want to know?
No, I really don't.
The FBI. Do you know why? What you all didn't know about me is that I'm an informant.
Well,
that's what I am.
Very good to put that out there.
I don't care. I am an informant for the FBI in Indiana. That's what I do.
If there's one thing I know about being an FBI informant, it's that the most crucial part of the job is making sure to broadcast it on YouTube for the world to see. That's Informing 101. First day stuff. So now I'm going to get to the part I've been dreading, the debunking, because I'm sure my mea culpas are long overdue. A couple of days ago, For Public Safety had a live stream where he reviewed my very first video I made on the subject approximately 7 months ago. Let's see what he had to say.
Let's review, put it one in chat if you want to hear Dummy Kruger destroy his own case against me. And in doing so, he's going to be destroying the prosecutor's case against me. Him and Larry Foreman accidentally destroyed the prosecutor's case against me within two videos. And it's only like 5 minutes of content that we'll need to use. Out of all that, just 5 minutes of this content will debunk the whole case. I'll let you hear him for yourself. You're going to hear this out of his own mouth. I'm going to let him prove it himself, that he knew all along, or at least for the majority of the time. And here's why.
This next particular excuse was, at the time, the primary reason I remained open-minded and opted to listen to his explanation before forming any conclusive judgments. Chris repeatedly asserted that it couldn't possibly be him because he possessed physical evidence proving he was in jail in a different county when someone was purportedly completing his probation a full hour away from where he was incarcerated.
That's all you need to hear for that. That's it. Did you guys get that?
Somewhat. I believe he's under the presumption that just because he was arrested and jailed in Meade County, Kentucky in the spring of 1999, it couldn't have been him who was cited for possession and drug paraphernalia, leading to a guilty plea and 2 years of probation in Hardin County, Kentucky in the fall of 1998. The Hardin County case is, of course, the one he claims is the conspiracy. However, if I remember correctly, there's some much needed context that needs to be added. Let's continue. Physical proof. Huge, right?
Huge, right?
And so the thing that bothers me so much,
put it one in chat if
that
that's
I was
huge.
in jail 45 miles away at the time that this alleged person was signing documents and taking drug tests.
And there's some of the context we needed. Yes, Chris was in jail in Meade County, Kentucky in the spring of 1999. However, what did he just say on his live stream? He said he was in jail the same time someone was supposedly signing documents and taking drug tests in Hardin County, Kentucky, a full hour away, pretending to be him. Obviously, you cannot be at two places at once. So yes, it would be huge.
In a different county,
showing ID to the probation officer, signing a paper on a date,
than a year later.
I'm here, I'm doing this CAP program. CAP is a drug treatment program, prove you're not on drugs. And, but this person is on record in this file saying, I am here on this date. Two of those meetings, I was in jail 45 miles away, and I have proof of it right here. I have proof.
Well, now we're getting somewhere. Chris says, and I quote, "This person is on record in this file saying I am here on this date. 2 of those meetings," referring to the drug tests, "I was in jail 45 minutes away, and I have proof of it. I have proof." The file he was referring to is from his Hardin County case where he received 2 years of probation. So, to prove he was in 2 places at once, we would need 2 key pieces of evidence. First, the exact dates he was in the Meade County Jail, which I provided on my second video, linked below, and I'll briefly go over them again today. And second, the exact dates from the Hardin County case file that show he was signing documents and taking a drug test. You just heard him. He has 2 specific dates in mind from his Hardin County case file that would show which dates he was taking the tests and signing documents. If those dates overlap, it would be the smoking gun proving his innocence. Let's keep going.
They screwed up and didn't realize, the case that we picked couldn't have been him. He was in jail somewhere else, far away. I think they were.
Hey, you have someone asking what county
Let's
were you
let's
in jail?
let,
Meade County.
let's hear what Dummy has to say about how much of a smoking gun this is, because I'm pretty sure he says it here in just a second.
Yep, pretty sure I said it too, because it would be.
Brandenburg, Kentucky, and that's 45, maybe 50 miles away. And they never transported me out of the jail for any reason. So what I'm going to do on Monday is I'm going to bring the records that prove that it couldn't have been me. I was actually in a jail in a place called Meade County, Kentucky, 45 miles away. At the time, this alleged person, who was supposed to have been me, according to them, was signing
on
documents and pissing in
probation.
a cup.
That last part still makes me laugh. Did you see what he did? He literally tried to change his own narrative, in real time, mind you, by talking over himself. Watch the last few seconds again.
I was actually in a jail in a place called Meade County, Kentucky, 45 miles away. At the time, this alleged person, who was supposed to have been me, according to them, was signing
on
documents and pissing in
probation.
a cup.
So he's literally on video saying one thing, but then changes his own words by inserting, quote, "was on probation." Let's go back to my video without his narration to see exactly what he originally said before he altered his own statements. I have added the date from when that live stream occurred.
So what I'm going to do on Monday is I'm going to bring the records that prove that it couldn't have been me. I was actually in a jail in a place called Meade County, Kentucky, 45 miles away. At the time, this alleged person, who was supposed to have been me, according to them, was signing documents and pissing in a cup. Couldn't have been me.
And once again, for everyone in the back, it couldn't have been him if, as he claimed moments ago, he had the exact dates from the file when, quote, this person was allegedly signing documents and, quote, pissing in a cup. He wasn't just making a general statement about being on probation, he inserted that himself. No, he referred to 2 specific dates in the court file that show someone signing his name and taking a drug test. He also said, quote, "What I'm going to do on Monday is bring the records that prove it couldn't have been me." Notate the date he said this because it'll be important momentarily.
Couldn't have been me.
And boom, finally, here we go.
Here we go.
We have some proof that there was either an imposter or it was this grand conspiracy. Did Chris finally run into some tyrants?
Proof. Is that not what he said? Put one in chat if he just said it's proof. If I can show that I was in jail in Meade County for more than one day, right? That it's proof. There you go.
Nope. Context matters. I didn't say it wasn't you in Hardin County if you were only in jail for one day in Meade County. What is proof is if you have overlapping days showing you 2 places at once. Hell, even some of his subscribers weren't buying it.
According to Dummy and the attorney DUI guy, it proves everything because that is exactly what he said. So if this was true, if it was true that I was in jail during the time that this other, wait a minute, something ain't right, that this other case was going on, that would absolutely be the smoking gun. It would prove everything. That was his own words. That would prove everything. Isn't that what they said, chat? Isn't that what they said? Isn't that what Dummy Kruger said in his video? He said it would prove everything. The Dummy Kruger video does not say if we can prove Chris was in jail for more than a day, then he is innocent. That's not what it said. That's what matters. It's not what it said. Yeah, it's what he's saying.
Chris likes to hear what he wants to hear. Back to his live stream from a few days ago. Per what he was telling his audience, his own records that he's going to be showing the courts in a couple of days prove that it couldn't have been him. This thing is over, right?
It's over.
Let's see what he said directly after that court appearance.
It's over if I can prove that. Put a one in chat if he just said it's over if I can prove that.
Yes, correct. If you prove this.
But this person is on record in this file saying I am here on this date. 2 of those meetings, I was in jail 45 miles away, and I have proof of it right here. I have proof.
If you can prove those 2 meetings took place with signatures while you were taking drug tests, while you were also in jail in a different county, it would be proof. For some odd reason, he stopped playing the video here. Remember, this live stream that he was reacting to was well over a year ago. That's why the date's important. He said he was about to go to court in a couple of days. Why did he stop my video without further context of what happened in court when he submitted his proof already? Let's go back to my video to show you the results of said hearing after the proof was submitted, because I wouldn't leave you hanging like that. Per what he was telling his audience, his own records that he's going to be showing the courts in a couple of days prove that it couldn't have been him. This thing is over, right? Let's see what he said directly after that court appearance.
There's nothing I can do. And there was nothing that this attorney could do in his eyes on that level, because it just felt like it was just too much to argue to prove that we didn't do it, given that we don't have the right records to prove that. So he's depending on me being able to prove where I was on 3 days for 25 years ago.
Well, that was a complete bust. His so-called new evidence to prove his innocence, evidence he claims I actually provided him, despite saying my videos are full of lies, is literally just his old evidence. He's already tried this approach before and it didn't work, yet he still hasn't figured it out. He needs to prove where he was on 3 specific dates, as Chris just said and the courts made clear, just like I've said multiple times in this video alone. So, here's what we're going to do next. We're going to go over all the dates in both files, starting with his 1998 citation in Hardin County that led to his probation. Then we'll move on to the days he spent in jail in Meade County, Kentucky in 1999 to see if they match up. We'll focus specifically on the documents with his signatures and any that relate to his probation. Let's see if they overlap. Maybe I can help him out again. Alright, so on August 22nd, 1998, Chris was cited for possession and drug paraphernalia in Hardin County, Kentucky. On September 2nd, 1998, while not necessarily related to the possession case, it is in the Hardin County case file because the prosecutor is using it for the purpose of comparing signatures. This charge is from a traffic stop in a completely different county on a completely different day, showing it's the same signature as the imposter. On September 23rd, 1998, Chris pleaded guilty to the possession and they dropped the drug paraphernalia charge as part of the plea deal in Hardin County, Kentucky. Take a second to notate the signature down below. On October 8th, 1998, we have our first document from CAPS, the drug company in charge of his drug testing. Chris, once again, signed the document at the bottom. Following that, on October 12th, 1998, we have a receipt from where Chris paid his fines and court costs. So that is everything in the Hardin County case file, pre his arrest and his subsequent jail time in Meade County, Kentucky. Let's now move on to those arrest dates. I've already gone over these dates in depth in this video seen here, so this will be the shortened version. On April 4th, 1998, Chris was arrested for assault for a Class A misdemeanor in Kentucky when he attacked his then girlfriend with a weapon involved. This is case number 99M00205, the M referring to a misdemeanor, of course. The following day, on April 5th, the victim filed for a temporary DV order that was granted. This prompted a second case, 99D00016-001. Per Kentucky law, DV matters are any matters assigned a D case number by the circuit clerk. Per the police report, argument led to a physical altercation. Victim stated perpetrator got violent, hit her several times in the head, some bruising in the left ear. Also, Perp put a pistol to her head, threatened to end her, then end himself. Victim stated she couldn't get away until today to report the incident. That same day, on April 5th, Chris was able to make bail for $1,000. Notate once again the signature at the bottom. This is the 4th instance he has signed a document at 4 different locations on 4 different days, showing it's the same person signing each instance. Chris was officially arraigned on April 7th, where he pled not guilty, with his next court appearance for both cases coming up on April 14th. On April 14th, he pleaded guilty to the assault 4 charge that he was originally charged with. He was sentenced to 6 months in jail, suspended, with 1 day time served. The DV hearing was held at the exact same day and time. His then girlfriend was granted a 1-year DV protection order. Per the protection order, for the petitioner against the above named respondent, in that it was established by a preponderance of the evidence that an act of DV or abuse has occurred and may again occur. Also, it stipulates the above named respondent be restricted from committing further acts of DV and abuse. He was also ordered to stay 500 feet away from her for an entire year. He was free to go at this point after serving only 1 day, and his bond was returned. However, he wasn't quite done yet. 5 days later, on April 19, 1999, Chris broke the DV order, per the victim's affidavit. April 19th, he came by trying to take some of his belongings. When I asked him to leave, he refused. I tried to call the police, and he tried to take the phone away from me. I finally called the police. Chris grabbed the phone and removed the batteries. He fought with me and finally left. A new arrest warrant was drawn up that day and executed 2 days later on April 21st. This will officially start the clock for when he was in jail. On April 28th, he was found guilty of violating the DV order and sentenced to 6 months in jail with 7 days credited. On May 21st, his public defender submitted a motion to suspend the remainder of his sentence in lieu of probation, with a hearing scheduled for June 2nd. At that hearing, Chris was granted what they call shock probation and released after spending 42 days in jail, April 21st, 1999 through June 2nd, 1999. And that was officially the totality of the 2 cases. Alright, before we dive back into the Hardin County case file and check if those dates overlap with his jail time, I stumbled upon something I found pretty interesting. While making this video, I had to comb through the entire case files again to pull all the relevant dates. In doing so, I came across 2 documents that didn't stand out at first. Now, let's recall. Chris has been claiming that his Hardin County possession case was either the work of an imposter or part of a giant government conspiracy. According to him, if it wasn't an imposter, all the records from Hardin County, Kentucky must be fraudulent and part of a setup. But here's where it gets interesting. On April 4th, 1999, when he was arrested in Meade County for assaulting his then girlfriend, the authorities ran his criminal history. And guess what shows up in that history? None other than his possession and drug paraphernalia charges from Hardin County 7 months earlier in a completely different county. And it didn't just happen once. When he was arrested again on April 21st for violating a DV order, they ran a fresh criminal report. Right at the top is the newly recorded guilty verdict for assault in the 4th degree, and just below that, you can once again see his possession and drug paraphernalia charges along with their dispositions. These records are over 25 years old. These 2 cases in Meade County had absolutely nothing to do with his case an hour away in Hardin County, Kentucky. Yet, here they are, staring us right in the face. Okay, let's get back to the dates at hand. Remember, we last saw a record in the Hardin County file dated October 12, 1998, a receipt from where he paid his court costs. The very next date in the entire 100-plus page court file is June 17, 1999, when the drug testing company submitted an affidavit for violation of parole. This was 15 days after Chris was let out of jail in Meade County, Kentucky on June 2, 1999. Following that, on August 4, 1999, we have a motion from the county attorney seeking to revoke his probation. And finally, on August 16th, an order came down from the Hardin County judge, reading in part, "It is hereby ordered, number 1, that the defendant, for the violation of the terms of his/her probation, as previously ordered by this court for failure to comply with the terms and conditions of his/her probation, Number 2, that the defendant has failed to comply with the terms and conditions. And finally, number 3, the defendant's probation is hereby revoked and she shall forthwith be incarcerated in the Hardin County Detention Center for a period of 30 days. This, the 16th day of August 1999. And those are the days on record in the Hardin County case file around the time he was in jail in Meade County, Kentucky. It's actually quite ironic he decided to use these snippets of my video that he contends prove it wasn't him who was cited in 1998 for possession and drug paraphernalia. Let me explain the irony. When he first started producing videos on the subject, I watched a couple of them. His main pieces of evidence at the time seemed mostly focused on a misspelling of his name, as well as claiming the address where the citation was given didn't even exist. I chalked those claims up at the time as probable clerical errors, which, in the end, turned out to be correct. However, when he said the following,
But this person is on record in this file saying, I am here on this date. 2 of those meetings, I was in jail 45 miles away, and I have proof of it right here. I have proof.
is the exact same moment my interest in this case officially peaked. He claimed to have physical proof that 2 of those dates overlapped with his time in the Meade County Jail. As I mentioned in the video, if he could prove that, it would have been the smoking gun. But just days after court, he's told his audience that he didn't actually have the quote physical proof showing he was in 2 places at once. That's when I realized he wasn't going to give his audience straight answers, so I decided to seek them out myself. Before making this video, I already knew none of these dates matched up. In fact, I had already released 95% of these records, just not in rapid succession like I did here. One of the very first things I checked when reviewing the files was whether any of these dates overlapped, because that would have definitively proven his innocence. Consider this for a moment. What would make for a better story? If I had found overlapping dates, wouldn't that be a much bigger revelation? It would mean these 25 to 26-year-old documents were all fraudulent. It would mean that multiple matching signatures across multiple counties over a 7-month period were forged. Now that would be a story to tell, exposing the Hardin County, Kentucky cabal in my limited spare time on my small YouTube channel. But instead of revealing this grand conspiracy, I'm alleged to have focused instead on Nickelback's #1 fan and his evasion of a 25-year-old warrant over a probation violation. I simply stuck to the facts and evidence and let the chips fall where they may. Okay, before we leave today, recall I mentioned something about a mysterious third video in my opening. Well, first, let me show you what Chris had to say about this.
But I'm going to show you guys how easily his entire is a trilogy, because he's claiming it was a trilogy. It's actually two videos. The first one got removed by YouTube because it's illegal, right? To put case information, evidence that's in an open hearing. So yeah, I reported it because it's illegal for a reason. I mean, it's not giving me a fair trial.
Yes, that's right. YouTube, the apparent new arbiter of the law in the United States, did remove my first video for about a day. Saying that, let this be a lesson to some of you. If you post anything about an ongoing trial or court case for public safety, civil liberties activist, and defender of all of our rights wants you thrown in jail. I'm sorry to inform the Law and Crime YouTube channel and Court TV and national broadcasters like ABC, NBC, and CBS, but you're all breaking the law on a daily basis. However, YouTube of course didn't take the video down because of my criminal ways. No, they actually give you a timestamp. In this case, it was this screenshot here showing 4 Public Safety's then girlfriend did in fact live at the address in 1998 where the possession citation was given. In doing so, I originally left a completely unrelated phone number unredacted. I redacted it and was given the green light.
So now he's claiming that there was a whole other video that he made, and a lot of people are saying, oh, you know, you had that whole other video. No, it ain't a whole other video. It's the first one he did got taken down, and then he put it right back up.
That's interesting, because I distinctly remember him complaining about this third video.
Oh, look, here's one of the people that just can't let it go. There it is. You watch both videos there. Lick the whole, boot. You watched, there aren't 3. There are 2. We put a 1 in chat, guys. If we address this in the very beginning of this video, there wasn't 3. There was always 2. He said 3 because when he first put up the first video, I struck it down. Why did I strike it down? Because he was doing an argument in open hearing that had not been argued in court yet. Yeah, I'm going to strike that down. So I did. And then he put it right back up. He republished it. So there you go. Again, lick the whole boot. Just can't let it sink in. I've already explained this to you. The same 2 videos. He only created 2 videos. I had the first one that he put up, the first of the 2 videos removed from YouTube against TOS. I had it taken down. He put it back up. Simple as that. So then you got that one, and then you got part 2. He's saying 3. It ain't 3. It's 2. One of them republished against YouTube TOS.
I gotta tell you, it really takes a lot of gumption to lie about things that are so easily proven. It's almost as if he cannot help himself. Here's this screenshot from the video removed. Once again, YouTube provided me with a timestamp, this time for showing 25-year-old court documents that included his full name and, wait for it, an address from 1998 that he claimed he never lived at or that doesn't even exist. But this time, I've heavily redacted the documents because I know our fearless rights protector will try to get it taken down once again. The new version drops tomorrow, same time. Alright everyone, I think we can finally wrap it up here. I do appreciate you all coming by today. This is Dummy Kruger, and I'll see you at the next video.